Hey there, welcome to Consult the Blind Guy. My name is Andrew, and I'm here to help you build, grow, and market your brand and content. In today's episode, we're going to cover how to make a brand logo and artwork for your content or brand, your niche or niche, whichever you prefer to call it, because one of our community members asked me how to do this so he could be able to have something on screen rather than just a black screen. So if you're new here, please stick around. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. If you're a member of the consulting crew, welcome back. I hope you find today's episode informative. Let's get to it.
Disappointed by reality, trying to come back, start something new, build up yourself, it's all to you. Stay strong no matter what they say, you keep getting better every day. Hold your head up, never gonna stop, fierce and proud, stand up and shout. Stand my ground.
As I said, welcome to Consult the Blind Guy. My name is Andrew, and in today's episode, we're going to cover how to do a brand logo or channel logo, a niche logo, images for your content or your brand, your business. This way, you have a professional look to it. Now, I was asked by one of our consulting crew members how to do an image to be able to put on screen. That way, it's not just a black screen for his channel. Now, for those of you that don't know who I'm talking about, I am referring to the Blind Guy Show with Greg. And Greg is legally blind and has been doing live streams and content without an image on screen. It's just black. And to help him get over that challenge, I wanted to discuss a few different options you can do in order to have an image on screen. I myself, I prefer making things myself. But you don't necessarily have to do that if you don't want to, or if you don't have the ability to do that yourself. You can always use different resources. You can ask a friend or relative or somebody else within your community who has the ability, or you can always go to different services like Fiverr or Rev, where you can get a freelancer to do it for you at a small fee. Now, the other option is doing it yourself or having someone do it for you. And myself, I prefer using Canva. Canva is a great service to use. They have a free version as well as a paid version. In the free version, you have pretty much all the same capabilities as the paid version, but there's a little bit of difference. With the free version, you have access to a lot of images that you can use, but not all of the images capable on the platform. Now, if you have the paid version, you get opened up to a lot more images that you can use on the platform, and there's no watermark or anything like that. Whereas if you're on the free version, you're restricted on the image amounts that you can use, and the images also have watermarks that show that that image came from canva.com. I'm going to share my screen here. This is canva.com. And Canva is an awesome tool. As you can see here on the main screen, it says design anything. And they do mean anything. You can do logos, ebooks, t-shirt designs, GIFs, you name it. Canva has a ton of different resources and templates that you can use, all for free as well as paid. Now, as I said, there is some limitations when it comes to the free version. They limit the amount of access you have to particular images and the ability to have the watermarks removed, which state Canva on them. And for those of you in the visually impaired community, the watermark is a series of lines or a grid with a brand mark for Canva over top of the image. And the only way to remove that is to be a paid member. And when you use the free account, you're able to use those images on all social media and things like that, but you are not supposed to use them to sell or make money off of them. So I'm going to change my screen here. Alright, as you can see here, I have a blank canvas. On this blank canvas, the first thing you're going to want to do is set your background color. So you click on the image and go over to, it's in the top left hand corner. And for this example, I'm going to do a red background just to make it easier for everybody to see what I'm doing. So now we have a red background. Now you can go over to the menu bar on the left hand side and it has templates, uploads, photos, elements, and text, styles, music, videos, and backgrounds, and folders. Now, for this example, I'm just going to use the top few options. And the first thing you're going to want to do is go over to Elements. As you can see here, it pulls up your most recent, and then you have featured images, and then it will give you an assortment of different types of resources you can use. Shapes, frames, stickers, charts, grids, and different things that you can choose for your images. There is also a search bar at the top of this list. So for this example, I'm going to do circle just because I want to make this simple and easy. So now you see I've got a circle in the center of the screen, and then you can click on the edge, drag it out to the size that you want it. And for this one, I'm just going to make it quick and easy, make it large to fill up the majority of the center. And then I'm going to select the color, and please note that the color on my screen is set to the high contrast, so it does alter the color just a slight bit. The circle just went from being white to black because the high contrast inverts certain colors, so it's not overpowering. I changed the color to white, so that's why it's showing a black circle. And then I'm going to go over to elements again. Actually, we'll go to text. I'm going to add a heading. And there's also templates for the headings that you can use as well. Do this as if I were making it for Greg specifically. And as you can see, I oversized it just a little bit, so I'm gonna shrink it down, make it fit within the circle. And that is one thing you're gonna want to do as well, is ensure that your image has text that will be large enough and viewable for your community. Increase the size of the circle just a little bit. And then go over to elements. I'm going to type in guy. And find an image. And for this example, I'm just going to use this one here, which is a generic silhouetted man with a cane. It's somewhat similar to my concept for my logo, but just a little bit different. And there's an image that could be good enough to use for an on-screen image. Now, of course, you can resize these images to be whatever size pixel you would like them. You can also make them resized by inch and things like that as well. And I will demonstrate that here real quick as well. And that is one thing that you need to be careful with, is if this is going to be a logo, for instance, on a profile picture or a Facebook picture, one that makes it into the round image, that if you do have text on it, you do want to ensure that the text is going to be large enough and bold enough to be seen. Otherwise, it's just going to look like little itty bitty lines, and that really won't help you out too much. So you can either have words or not have words. Myself, I have the Consult the Blind Guy on my logo with my silhouetted man with a cane, and I ensured that I did the letters big enough to be visible. You can go to the Resize, which is on the top left hand side of the screen, and it is the third tab and on the left. And as everywhere else on Canva, there is a search menu for your sizing. So I'm going to just type in logo, select that out of the menu, and you can either copy and resize or just resize. If you copy and resize, it'll take the image you have now and it will make a completely new image with it resized, whereas if you just resize, it's going to take the image you're working on and change it to whatever size you designate. So I'm just going to resize here for this. And as you can see, it shrunk it down, and now there's a square and the circle is in the center with the title for the show and the character, which is fairly small. So I'm going to actually resize all of this by clicking on the image of the text, holding shift, and clicking on all the elements within the image, and then you can actually right click, pull up the menu, and go to the bottom of the list and make them a group, so they are now all stuck together and able to be resized all at one time compared to resizing individually. Resize this just a little bit more so it fills the image section, and that to me looks much better. Also, as I said, because I am using a dark theme, you can see that the text is white, but it is automatically black. So I am going to highlight the text. I'm going to go up to the top menu bar, go to the text color, and I'm going to change that to white. That way it sticks out more. And now we have our image. And I know that the character is already white from its setup, so I'm actually going to change it to black. That way it gives a little bit more character to the image and it's not overpowering to the viewer. And there we go. It's a quick, simple little process. It entirely is up to you on the type of logo that you want. I'm going to close out the image real quick and reshare the screen here on the other page. That way you can see what it looks like as a preview of what we just created. And refresh. And now you have a red background with a white ring with white text and a black character. And there is just tons of ways that you can do images like this. It does take some finessing sometimes if you're doing it on the desktop compared to a mobile device. You do have the ability to zoom in a little bit more on the desktop and be more precise with your drag and drop of images and text and things like that. It is a simple yet tedious process. I suggest that you consider what you would like your branding to represent for your content, your brand, or your niche. Whatever it is, make sure that it definitely is a part of you, but as well as a part of your brand or your content type. The more you can be specific towards your content type and your own personality into it, the better chances you will have with getting a decent logo. Now, I do know some people in the community who will say that the best way to do it is to just focus on whatever your niche is, or niche. Never heard it until earlier this year, but riches are in the niches, and to be specific towards your niche is the best way to do it, but make sure you give it your personal feel. Now, if you're doing a personal brand where you are the brand, you, you're not, for instance, Consult the Blind Guy, and you were to be your own personal brand by using your actual name for your brand, then I would go more along the lines of using a personal image of yourself, or something that refers to you as well as what your niche is. Of course, we're going to have our usual Q&A session, and if you have any questions, I will be there later on this afternoon to be able to answer them on Monday the 21st. Yep, Monday the 21st at 3 p.m. Hard to believe that we're only a few more days away until the new year. And if you don't want to go the route of designing one yourself, as I said, you can always use a different service such as Fiverr. And here's Fiverr. This is a place where you can go to find freelance workers, and they have plenty out there in every different type of freelance business. You got people that will do music and audio, programming and tech, business work, lifestyle stuff, digital marketing, graphic design, audio books, and writing, and a lot of other things. The one thing to note about Fiverr is every freelance worker sets their own prices, so you can find somebody for fairly cheap, but then you have some of them that are fairly expensive as well. If you're a member of the consulting crew and you need help with stuff like this, you can always post within the consulting crew group and just reach out for help, and I will be more than happy to assist you with this as well. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment below. If you would be so kind to put question in all caps, it'll make it easier for me to differentiate between regular conversation and questions, so I can be able to get back to that as soon as possible. If for any reason you are not comfortable with asking questions within the live streams or within the comment section below, you can always email me at consult.ablindguy@gmail.com, as well as Andrew at consultablindguy.com. And as I said, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. And it would be awesome to have you join us over on Facebook in the Consulting Guru Hangout group. Just do a Facebook search for Consult the Blind Guy, and the page as well as the groups will come up. The consulting crew group is there for everybody to join. Don't forget to smash that like button. It will help you also stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more because YouTube is constantly changing the algorithm. If you do not engage with the channel, you are not likely to get all of your notifications. Slightly irritating, I know. Why do they have the bell icon and not give you all your updates? But that's the way they've got things set up now. Please feel free to reach out in the comment section, in the live streams, or on Facebook. You can also find me on all social media channels. You can also message me there or comment there as well. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you and help you solve your issue. Until the next time, don't forget to check out this video over here, subscribe, and I hope you have a good day or evening, depending on where you are in the world, and happy holidays. Peace out until next time.